Russ.
Good, how you doing?
Thanks for coming.
Hey, thank you for having me. The weather up there is, I don't know, something about the rain. It just reinvigorates everything.
That's right.
Reminds me of that movie, Singing in the Rain. I just want to dance.
It gives a freshness for everything. So did you find this place well?
Oh yeah, the directions were too easy.
Oh, okay. That's nice, that's nice. So, tell me about your education.
My education has given me the ability to polish my skills in research, analysis, technology, and communication. So through these courses that I've taken, such as accounting, communications courses, management courses, as well as technology courses, I've been afforded the ability to go through SEC filings and other case studies, look for indiscrepancies, ensure accuracy, also give recommendations on any ideas for cost cutting, tax, consulting, what we can do to maximize our revenue, minimize the amount of taxes we have to pay, and that sort of thing. I think the communication has definitely given me the opportunities to do more public speaking, become more proficient in public speaking, and do presentations, studies, basically do studies and present on these studies, do group presentations, lead these presentations, giving recommendations or findings of what we think might have happened or what we can do to minimize our risk in the future. Some of the technology courses were definitely beneficial, especially in the fact that it has given me a much more proficient aspect in the technology side, which is the backbone of business. I became proficient in Word, Excel, Access, writing databases within Access, and one of the beautiful things about the education is they give you a real perspective. They give you real world experiences that you had to tailor the databases to. So instead of just learning about them, they actually gave us cases to build these databases and in a real world situation and get used to getting used to and becoming more proficient in the technology side. So it was definitely a worthwhile experience.
Great, great. Now I want to know about your work experience.
Okay. My time in the military, as well as on the civilian side at AutoZone, being a customer service manager, has afforded me the ability to become, well, especially in the military, has afforded me the ability to take a highly stressful, potentially hostile environment, break it down strategically, in ensuring that I have the most accurate information available to base a well-educated decision on. It has also given me the opportunity to hone in my leadership skills by leading by example. I believe that's my main philosophy, is just lead by example, making sure I know the job above me and that everyone below me knows my job as well as theirs. I had a situation like this. I was a young private in the Army. We had a upper end officer coming around to the local barracks to do basically they just do random checks to ensure all are still accounted for, there's no issues, nobody's went AWOL, that sort of thing. I was the CQ on duty at the time. My CQ sergeant was not available, and I was the only person available to talk to him and answer his questions. I was able to proficiently answer all of his questions. He provided me with a coin and thanked me for being very educated in not only my job, but the job of the CQ sergeant as well. That I was able to give him the answers and not tell him, he's gonna have to wait till the CQ sergeant comes back. So I think that would be my experience.
Nice. So now tell me about your leadership.
My leadership skills. Well, like I said before, I definitely believe in leading by example, and I was nominated and elected president of the Student Veterans Association. While I was there, I approached Miami University to put in a Veterans Memorial. We did, at the same time we found out about a soldier that had died in Afghanistan, and the father was a professor at the university. So I also approached Miami University about doing a dedication ceremony, and between us and the Student Government Association, we implemented we had to raise $25,000 to do a scholarship in his honor. In order to do that, I set up certain goals. I gathered the materials to have a silent auction. We did a boot drive where we went to local businesses, gathering donations through individuals, approaching local businesses, other local businesses about donating for this fund, and as well as organizations, American Legion, VFW, and also getting Miami University to pay for the memorial itself, and getting benches donated for that memorial. As a result, I also had to coordinate all the music, the band that played taps during the dedication to dedicate the memorial in the honor of the fallen soldier, while all branch colors were raised. As a result, we raised $25,000 for the scholarship and got the memorial put together and got it done within, I think it was about 3 months, and had it in time, ready and in time for Veterans Day.
I want to know about a little bit of your weakness.
I've been awarded the wonderful opportunity to adapt and overcome on my feet. I was attending Miami University when my vision began to fail significantly more, even after I was retired from the Army. I was still able to read when I started the semester, and at about halfway through, my vision began to fail to the point where I was no longer able to read. I quickly adapted using assistive technology, approaching students in class initially, while also to set up study groups, things of that nature, while also working, approaching the professors and getting digital copies of the textbooks when available, or audiobooks. I'm extremely proud of the fact that not only did I maintain the 3.3, I actually improved my GPA to a 3.52. It actually gave me a chance to even hone in my skills even better, and I was able to hit Dean's List. So I feel that's probably one of the most, I feel that's a good one.
Right now, tell me, like, how do you deal with the frequent job changes or unexpected events on the job?
I can think of a situation. I was in the military. We were being mobilized and being sent overseas. Typically, when you're being mobilized, you're covering down on another unit. So as you're being rotated in, another unit's rotating out. So we spent about 2 weeks shadowing the unit leaving, familiarizing ourselves with the area, the issues they usually, the issues they usually encounter, and just familiarizing ourselves with the route, everything about the job. Unfortunately, in the area where we were sent, they were needing more convoy security than they already initially had. So we did not have a unit to fall down on or shadow. We had to basically build ourselves from the ground up. I was approached and put in charge of getting the buildings up to standard and usable. There was no electricity, there was holes in the walls, cracks. Setting up the motor pool efficiently and proficiently so we can easily mount and dismount, which is basically mobilize, load, and then as we're coming back in, unload and park. While also acquiring hazardous materials. Since there was no previous thing, I also had to figure out a storage facility for the hazardous materials as well as the wastes and disposal of the waste, so pickups, basically all that. And then also set up security for the perimeter, the motor pool, keep all our assets, all our sensitive items safe. So essentially, basically what I did is I structurized it to what was most pertinent to get done immediately. What could I get done that had to be done? Because we only had 1 week to become training ready, and we had only 30 days to become mission capable. So I started with the buildings, working with the contractors to come out, assess the buildings, tell me what their time frame is, get them started on all the issues we had, setting up electricity, fixing the holes, getting everything up to standard to where it's actually usable, and drawing up the motor pool, figuring out the best access point, what building's going to be used for what, and where we're going to load, unload, how the vehicles were going to be staged within that motor pool. Then I worked on ensuring that all those knew about under and over me what was going on, so there'd be no issues while I started acquiring all our hazardous materials and disposal and storage sites for the wastes and pickup sites. So I did this by getting a hold of the EPA that was on base. I had them come out to our site, told them what we were planning on doing, what we were going to have on site, and what they would like, and asked them what they would like to see. By gaining their knowledge and expertise in that area, they were able to facilitate me with absolutely everything they wanted to see, so there was no issues. As soon as I got everything set up, they came out and they approved it. It was exactly what they wanted to see. I was able to set up from then I was able to set up the pickups once a week for the wastes. And finally, I implemented all the security to keep all our sensitive items safe by designing a gate system and other various things. So.
Okay. Now tell me an example when you have to be assertive.
I was working at AutoZone, and there was this customer and employee that were having a discussion. And the customer was, rightly concerned. She ordered a pair of right and left-hand parts, and somehow 2 right-hand parts were delivered to the store. She was extremely upset. It took over, or she was extremely concerned. It took over, 2 weeks to, get these parts. We were the cheap, so when I intervened asked her the questions. I found out that, you know, we were the cheapest in town. We had to order them, but we were cheaper by at least $50. I also ascertained that a local auto parts store down the road had them in stock, but they were significantly more expensive. So I offered her this situation that I said, let me call the other auto parts store. I found out had them talk to the manager, made sure the part was in stock and he had hands on that part. So then I asked him to hand it out, and as a favor, told him the situation and what could he do for me. I got him to bring it down within $10 of our part. Our store made up the $10 difference, and the customer was very happy. And as a result, she had always come after me since that, and talked to the store manager about me as well.
Okay. Now, excuse me. Now tell me. Now describe me when you encounter a roadblock.
I would have to say my roadblock would be, we were in training to go in the military, to go overseas. We were doing a week-long training, and in this type of training situation, it was to be highly stressful, sleep deprivation, you know, the whole deal, to get as much stress put on as possible to simulate everything, you know, that's going on, so you're very familiar, you know how you're going to act. They want to show you what it's like to be in a stressful situation and see how much pressure, you know, you're capable of handling, and also look back and see where your bad points are to modify. So we had just begun this. We were going to be doing 24-hour-a-day rotations, and the leader at that time said all personnel are going to be working straight through right now. I immediately went to work on figuring up a schedule so that we could be on 12-hour rotations, so that not everybody's going to be up, and then some people are going to be up a full 24 hours without any sleep. I configured the schedule, working with some of the other soldiers, I could put it, and configured it, approached the leader, which was my platoon sergeant, gave him my proposal, and persuaded him to change his mind and implement my strategy on our sleep schedule and work schedule. As a result, we got everything situated. The ones that were going to be on that night shift for that 12 hours got to go for rest time, relax, fall asleep, so they're ready and capable for that night shift.
Very nice. And now, tell me, why should I hire you?
It's been my lifelong goal to serve in the military and become a tax attorney. I have dedicated my life to doing everything possible to be the best candidate there is. I've tailored everything. This is what I am supposed to do, what I'm supposed to become. So I feel, well, I am the best candidate for this situation because I meet all of the requirements for this position. I have had multiple experiences in those situations and have gained a lot of knowledge and working knowledge in those situations. So I think I would be a great asset to this company.
Okay, thank you for answering all the questions. Do you have any questions about this organization?
Yeah, what is the keys to success here? What should I look for to become successful in this situation, in this organization?